Hey, welcome back to the channel. In our last video with the sawmill, I realized that my height was not adjusted to, the height of the blade was not adjusted to the actual ruler correctly. And when we did our setup video, we painstakingly took time and effort to make sure that the sawmill's head was perfectly balanced. And it's perfectly balanced this way, but somehow through all of that effort, making sure that the head is perfectly level, cutting perfectly level, we failed to set the scale up so that we know exactly how far the blade is away from the deck. So what we're going to show you is a little trick. It's pretty easy to do this. This is just a common speed square. I'm going to set the speed square on this deck and adjust it out. All right, so how this works, as I said earlier, when we set this up, we just spent a lot of time making sure that the deck, the blade was the same height on this side as it was on the other side. So we know that is good. You need to clean your stainless steel top off, set your speed square out like this, bring your deck. Well, here's something you can do because my speed square is really big. This is a big speed square. I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way up high so I can get directly over the speed square. There we go. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and set the speed square on the back side of it. The back side of the blade is actually the part that's important. And what we're gonna do now is just raise this up to, it says the bottom of this blade is on that 6-inch mark. Now the top of the blade's on the 6-inch mark. I'm gonna go a little bit more. Now we're pretty much, yep, I can see the 6-inch mark on the bottom. So we know the blade height from the deck is 6 inches. Now we're going to adjust our actual scale. I'll make sure that this is the right one. Yeah. No, it's a 15. That's okay. What kind of metric set don't have a 15 millimeter wrench in it? It's been out here for a minute, it's rusted. These shouldn't be that tight anyway because it's just down on plastic. All right, what we're gonna do now is take the outer scale off. This is your adjustable scale. So when you're cutting from the top, things don't necessarily line up with the actual height of the bunk. Sometimes it doesn't matter. So you'll set where your blade's at, tighten this down, and then go use the blue scale. But if you want to know exactly how far you are away from the bunk, you definitely want to use the red scale, which is the bottom one. So we're going to take this one out of the way. Take the two washers out. And all we're going to do is just loosen these nuts. Don't make fun of my rusty wrench. So we were about 1.25 inches off. So what I'm going to do is slide this down to where it says 6 inches. You'll notice there's two of these in line. There's a 6 and a 3/4. They're in line with each other, so it's really good to go ahead and just make sure that they're both in line together with a red line going across. Just a better way, because you can get this or like this. So if you tighten it back up with them level, you'll stand to be a little bit more accurate. I do want to point out that all of these instructions were in the instructions, but when this is a complex piece of machinery to put together, and we missed some. I really think it's Tanya's fault mostly. She agrees when we're behind the camera. See, she's not wearing a mic, so she can't defend herself. I think my viewers know who's at fault though. All right, we'll take this one. Now, this one you don't want to put very tight because you still want to be able to adjust it up and down. Just snug enough to not flop it around, but there you go, that's perfect. And then this will be you tighten the red nut down to keep your blue line in shape. So right now we're dead on 6 inches, and that puts us exactly in the height of the blade. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't remember how old this log is. This may be so old that it's not any good. We'll find out here in a minute. Gitmo, you're going to move, bub. These things are heavy. Give me a minute. It's one of the things I do like about the bigger grapple than I do the small grapple is because it has a, when you tilt it back, it has basically a place where you could put boards on. Where the small one, you got to really have it high up in the air to have that feature. And this one, you don't have to have that. All right, I think we're ready. This we'll make one cut, and if it's rotten, we're just gonna go ahead and do away with it. Let's see what the scale says now that we got it adjusted right. We're at 7 and a half. We'll go down to, or 7.5. We'll go down to 7. We'll take that first cut at 7. All right, crank up there, sweetheart. A little choke. Cold out here. I don't think it's structural, Tanya. I think it can be used to make like floating shelves and stuff like that. She got a big thumbs up. She talks about doing floating shelves or anything like that. She's all excited about it. It's really dry. That's been sitting over there for about 2 years. You guys don't know, this is the Frontier OS 35. We just got this early this summer, or late this summer, and it's got a V-twin 22 horsepower engine on it, and you're talking about a smooth engine. Right now, last couple 7 inches off the deck, so we're gonna go ahead and come down to 5 inches off the deck. I don't believe that board's gonna, or the wood's gonna be any good if we do anything else. Got a little bow in it, but we'll cut it out. So I can't hold that small log against the permanent backstop. This thing's made for bigger logs. So I will have to go ahead and move this back over and put in the stops that are closer. I'll just keep them about 1 inch above. Now that I have those pulled out further, these backstops will work, or these log dogs will work. This is older red oak, and it's not honestly the best wood for structure because it's a couple years old and this wasn't a big log to begin with. But it will make some pretty boards for Tanya. She'll be doing something with it either the cabin or one of her friend's place, she'll do something with it, guarantee it. And I'm not ruining a good log learning this new sawmill. This is really dry. This is a lot of sapwood. It'd be pretty though. For some sort of little project. I can see making crates out of these. They're good enough for that. All right, do you want boards out of that, or do you want boards for a floating shelf? So we'll go ahead and set our blue line up. Let's go ahead and touch the blade. You're going to use these in the greenhouse? It's older oak and it's a little bit punky, but like I said, for shelves like that, these are all of these boards here are rough cut, and we could run those through the planers and you know, get them down to like 3/4, and they'll be perfectly smooth and nice and neat. And
well, they're going to be in the greenhouse, so it doesn't really matter.
Really doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right. So any log you find laying on the ground, there's a possibility that I was going to say this log was not going to be usable. Obviously, I don't think this is like truly structural wood. You could probably use this for a board and batten siding because it's not structural. But this is a little bit punky, but it's pretty. And these boards are pretty solid on the inside. Put some stain on these, it would last in the interior of the house for shelves, or inside the greenhouse. She's going to make floating shelves out of these. It'll last for the rest of our life if it's taken care of. I'm excited about this. I love this sawmill. Can't wait to get the extensions on it. It's going to make this so much better. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching this. You got any input, please let us know. Let us know if you've seen me do anything wrong, because God knows I do. God bless. Have a great day.
Did we staple that or nailed it down?
We didn't do anything. I mean, the concrete's gonna hold it down.
That's true.